So I guess this is what an R-rated Disney movie would look like on acid.
Midsommar.
How's it going, everyone? It's been a while. My name is Mr. Hat, and today we are talking about Midsommar, or Midsommar, the newest film by Ari Aster. He directed last year's Hereditary. Now, that's a film that is split down the middle, and I feel like that's how this film's going to be, too. Ari Aster, he's a new director, and just like Jordan Peele, he's got 2 movies now under his belt, and both of them are hailed as modern day classics. I personally really liked Hereditary. There's a lot of people who really hate it, and I feel like it's the ending of Ari Aster's films that really makes or breaks it for you. If you get to the end and you just don't like it at all, it could ruin the whole film for you, but I really liked Hereditary. I thought Hereditary had one of the best performances ever by Toni Collette. It had a couple of the best decapitations ever. It had a really unique story and great direction by Ari Aster. I thought it was awesome, and I just love how he doesn't do the traditional jump scares. He just leaves things lingering in the background. You kind of like have to look for it, and it's a movie that it's like an unsolved puzzle. It just sticks with you, and you think about it days on end. You just can't stop thinking about it and trying to solve it. Now let's talk about Midsommar. Do I like this movie as much or more than Hereditary? No. I don't hate it, but I'm very disappointed. I set the bar a little too high, I guess. I was expecting there to be a little bit more underneath the surface, but this movie is basically face value. It is what it looks like. It's the fucked up Disney fairy tale of a woman going to Sweden with her boyfriend and his college friends, and they're doing a thesis on this tribe, this community that has these rituals, these certain practices that they do, these little rules that they have to go by. They're off the grid. They're like an Amish community, except in Sweden, and they're doing a little college thesis, and meanwhile she's just trying to hang out with her boyfriend because she just had tragedy hit her family, and she's just trying to distract herself and have a little vacation. Meanwhile, fucked up shit's happening left and right, and it is a jaw-dropping movie. Like, you're just stunned at what you're seeing. It's one of those movies that makes you uncomfortable, so you start laughing because you're uncomfortable. But to talk about the things that I do like about this movie, I thought that the woman who plays Danny, I don't know any of these actors' names, so forgive me, but I thought she did a pretty good job. I don't think she's as good as Toni Collette, but she has to cry a lot. It can get annoying depending on who you are. If you're easily agitated, she's annoying sometimes. She's crying all the time. But it does feel realistic. I like Will Poulter. Is that the actor's name? The guy from We're the Millers. I liked his comic relief character. He has some really good moments. They're like high a lot in this movie, and they're like dropping acid, and I really like the shit that he says, because it just, if you've ever been high, I'm sure you can relate to what he's saying. The gore and practical effects are awesome when you do get them. There's not a whole lot, but when you get it, it's worth the wait, especially the one scene. The cliff scene. I like that this is a horror movie that's all in daylight. That's something that you never see. That's very different, unique. Usually horror usually utilizes darkness. This movie is 100% daylight, like from the time they get to Sweden throughout the rest of the film. It's also a gorgeous movie. I really like the location. It feels authentic. I like how they use it in this movie, and it's just a beautiful movie. Lots of flowers everywhere. And we get some boobies. Lots of them. Now to talk about the things that I don't like. I don't like that this movie is 2 hours and 20 some minutes when it easily didn't need to be that long. The movie at the beginning, it takes like 20 minutes just to set up this woman's family, like the tragedy that hits her family. And it really didn't need to be all that long. It could have been trimmed down some. And another thing that's agitating about that is the fact that never comes into play later. I was like, when's that going to be a relative thing? Oh, it's just why she's in Sweden now? That didn't need to be a reason for her to be in Sweden. She could have just went to Sweden with her boyfriend. Not, I had to lose my family to come here. I was expecting some like twist or revelation, like this Swedish friend killed the family so that she would have to come to Sweden. Or she killed her family, or something else. By the way, who the fuck has to duct tape a hose to their mouth to kill themselves? It just seemed odd. I thought it was a triple homicide, but I guess it was a triple suicide or a double suicide, one homicide, or double homicide, one suicide. What the fuck happened? They established that Danny's taking pills. I didn't get a chance to read the label, and I hate that in movies. They expect you to read a whole bottle in like a second. It's like, what was that drug? Now I don't know what the fuck to think about throughout the rest of the movie. What was that bottle? It's pissing me off now. But that never came into play later, unless it did. But I don't know what the fuck pill she's taking, so now I'm just confused. This movie just felt like it was random shit for the sake of being random shit. You know, like, alright, now this is happening. Now this is happening. Isn't that weird? Cool. There's a lot of jazz hands going on, and I guess because it's funny. No one ever bats an eye when a friend's missing, and it's like one at a time. It just, the group's getting shorter and shorter, and everyone just like makes excuses. Like, well, I guess they're just out screwing. It's perfectly natural that they're gone for 24 hours. Who cares? After the initial shocking thing that happens, and there's two in this group of like 6 that's like, fuck that, we're leaving. All of them should have been like, fuck that, we're leaving. There's really not much story. It's all face value. I didn't find any like secret thing. Like, there's foreshadowing, but there's even like this one like clip art like comic strip that they kind of like pan over. It looked like 2 girls kissing or something, but that never happened, so I was like, wait, what was that for? Did I miss something? I thought the Swedish friend was gonna, like, hook up with the main girl, because he's like, I was especially glad that you showed up. And it's like, why? Are you gonna marry her? Danny, her whole arc is going from, like, loving her boyfriend and being so scared of losing him. They've been together for a few years, and she's just so, like, on edge, like, trying to make him happy. She runs away to hide when she wants to cry, because she doesn't want to drive him away. She goes from that, spoiler alert for the next 3 seconds, to, I'm gonna fucking burn him alive. And then smile. What the fuck? The only thing I can think of is that this movie is just a fucked up Disney fairy tale. Like, you know, because princesses in Disney, they always gotta like lose somebody. They lose a family, and then they move to a faraway place, and then she even gets crowned. She wins this little contest, and she gets crowned, and she's the princess, I guess, or she's the May Queen, they call her, and they put her in this carriage, and then they like grab the sticks, and they make that trilling noise, and they point in the direction they're going, because that's their culture. Lots of weird shit. You know, if these people in this movie, if the college kids would just stop drinking the water, they probably would have had enough sense to get the fuck out. Stop drinking the water. They never question it. They're like, fuck it, let's just drink it. Let's eat this too. I don't know what the fuck it is. Oh, pubic hair? I don't care. I guess this whole side story with the boyfriend, having this girl in the tribe, I guess, I'll call it tribe, the redhead, you know, falling in love with him, give him like the rune stone under his bed to eventually get him to fuck her. And he gets like pre-selected in their culture. You know, we got pre-select people to have sex. Like, you're approved, you can fuck her now. All that to provide a reason for Danny to want to kill him. I just didn't feel like there was a lot of story here. It was just like, let's just be odd and uncomfortable for the sake of being uncomfortable. That's what this movie felt like to me. It was just disappointing. There's not really a lot under the surface. The characters aren't all that interesting. I didn't care about Danny. I just didn't. We don't know enough about Danny. We just know that she pops pills that I didn't get to read, and that she's scared of losing her boyfriend, who at the end, she doesn't give a shit about. So to me, this was just kind of disappointing to me. I didn't hate it. I might watch it one more time in the future, just for the fuck of it. Maybe bring a few people along to show them how crazy it is. But at the end of the day, I just gotta say, when it comes to Midsommar, that maybe you should just check this one out at Redbox. Now, I do want to talk about a couple of things, like that gore. I want to talk about that. That was fucking awesome. When they jump off the cliff, apparently in this culture of theirs, you only get to live 72 years, and then when you hit 72, you're done. You gotta kill yourself. And these 2 old people jump to their fucking deaths, and this chick, the old lady, just smashes up against the rock, and you see her face like cave in, and you think it's shying away. It shows like the character's reaction, but then it cuts back and it just lingers on that smashed in face. It's awesome. And then the guy, I guess he pussies out at the last second, like when it's too late, and he lands on his feet like a moron. And while I was thinking, I wonder what that hammer's for, that wooden mallet, and then boom, there's my answer. To kill the stragglers. But what was funny was, it was like that airplane. It was like an airplane where there's like that line of people like in line to take turns beating the shit out of someone. They're all like forming a line to like hammer this guy's face in. And it was just bloody, awesome carnage. Now let's talk about that sex scene. What the fuck? This is the moment in the movie where it's full blast craziness. Nothing from that point on is ever like normal again. It's just fucking weird. We got what I call the sex choir going on. They're just all singing, and they're like, the guy's high out of his mind, plowing this redhead, and is he aware of what the fuck he's doing? How high is he? They like blew shroom dust in his face, or acid. I don't know what the fuck that was. But now he's banging her, and they're all like, there's 12 naked people who aren't that hot. So it's not people you want to see naked. It's like old people and fat people. Full bush, just tons of vaginas and tits hanging everywhere. How is this movie rated R and not X? If this was 1984, it would be X. Friday the 13th part 5, 6, and 7, and 8 got X ratings because of blood. And now we got tits and vaginas and full bush. And this movie is R. What the fuck? Not to mention a bloody half-hard cock when he's like running out of that barn after he just fucked that virgin. I think his dick was all bloody. Don't ask me how I know. I wasn't trying to look, but it was right there. But what was hilarious is that sex choir, they're like singing, and then the girl's being banged, and she's like reaching up for like help, I guess. I don't know. But then the chick like grabs her hand, and she's like got this warm smile, singing to her as she's being fucked. And then, just to make things a little bit more weird, a girl, the oldest one that's naked, goes around behind the guy and just starts pushing him into her like he just needed more help. Like, you gotta come! Finish it! Just pushing on his butt cheeks, and then he finishes, and then she does what Uma Thurman does in Big Lebowski, I believe. I might be wrong. It's been a long time since I've seen that. But she like curls up in a ball, and she's like grabbing her legs up against her chest, and she's rocking back and forth. Like, I can feel the baby! Fucked up movie. They like explain this thing about incest, and that went nowhere. I'm not sure what that was for. Like, they're all, like, fucking each other, and they, like, one of the tourists brings it up, like, okay, you guys are a small community. Are you guys fucking each other? And that's where you see that one fucked up looking girl in that trailer. They don't do much about that, but I guess it was just, they need to bring outsiders in to fuck them, and that's why all the girls in Sweden are beautiful. I'm not sure if there's really many things to take from this film. But yeah, those are just the things I wanted to talk about. They were fucked up. What was up with the title cards at the beginning, too? I want to bring that up. When it says, like, Midsommar, and it says all the actors' names, there's a black screen, there's snow, and the font is so fucking small in the middle of the screen. I'm like, what's this movie called? I can't read it. Weird title sequence at the beginning. They could have increased the font size. Weird thing to nitpick, but seriously, I couldn't even read it. But those are my thoughts on Midsommar. What did you think about this Ari Aster film? Was it better than Hereditary? Did you like it more? Did you like it less? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching this. I've been pretty busy the last week. Personal affairs, personal things happening. New house. So that's why I wasn't able to upload this sooner. I saw this movie on Tuesday. It's fucking Sunday morning now. So yeah, I've been busy. But thank you so much for watching this. Hit this like button over here, and feel free to follow me on social media if you wish to do so. But please consider becoming a subscriber today just by clicking on my cartoon face in about 5 seconds. And until next time, Auf Wiedersehen.